Hey everybody, Hunter, Fisher, Trapper, Trader, Guide, Scout, and Interpreter, and Country Cook Steve Hall here in Nashville, Tennessee, along with pretty Miss Sheila. Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
And today we're going to make Alabama Hashbrown Casserole, and the Alabama element is standing behind that camera right there. She'll be out here in just a minute, and I'll explain that. But one of the ingredients is cutting up some onions to go in this, and I just want to show you something real quick. Come on over here. Now, the way all these culinary schools teach you is they want you to cut off this end, then they want you to cut it in half, but leave the little root end on there. Then they want you to make a bunch of cuts. Well, first of all, we got to peel off the outside, which is kind of a pain when you have to go all the way around this onion to get it off of there. But anyway, doing this quickly because I just want to show you the difference between what I do and what they do, and they leave the little end on there. Then they make all these little cuts like this, and I've got this in another segment, but I want to explain it further. Then they want you to put your fingers on top and cut under here, make some cuts and stuff under there, all that, and then they chop it off, and forget all that. It drives me nuts. It just drives me absolutely crazy. Now, I have had people post comments that say the reason you leave this little end on is because it keeps the tears from happening. I've been chopping onions up for years, and of course I always use sweet Vidalia onions or sweet onions, and even when I use yellow onions or white onions, I got my hand over the top. I've never had a problem with that ever. But what I do is I cut it off this way. I cut both ends off, cut it in half. Makes it so much easier to peel the caps off of there when it's in half like that. Just like that, you're already down to this part. Now, they say you can't make a real fine chopped onion unless you do all those other little cuts this way. But now remember, that onion is being held this way, the way they cut it, and I turn it this direction, which makes all the little bands in the onion lay this direction. So the cuts are already there. They're just bent. I wanted to show this last time and I kind of forgot, but they do it like this. I turn it like this. Now we're going to make fine onions for this casserole, so I'm going to make little teeny cuts, and you notice I cut down away from my hand. And the more cuts you make, the finer the onion pieces are. Then all I have to do is cut this direction. Now remember, when I cut this down like this, I'm not cutting down a whole big piece. All these little teeny pieces are all the layers of the onion. So it's like super, super, super fine. You see how easy that is? And that is how I make real fine onions. I don't have to leave that end cap on. If you want to take this and peel it off and cut all the way around to get all the little teeny pieces, you can do that as well. But I just make my cuts this way, straight down. I cut off both ends caps. And if you want thicker onions, obviously you just make your cuts further apart in both directions. And there you have super, super fine onions. But that's how I do that.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, I hope you're ready.
I am ready.
Here's the Alabama element of all this. Miss Sheila from down in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and her mom lives in Red Bay, Alabama. She's on one of our other cooking shows. And I got to tell you, this is their special ingredient to a hash brown casserole. And we'll get to that in just a second. But first, we need to get the main ingredients together. We need 2 pounds of hash browns thawed. I took these out of the freezer last night and put them in the refrigerator. This says 1 pound, 14 ounces. Now that's just 2 ounces short of 2 pounds, but I'm not going to buy a whole nother bag to throw a handful in here, so that's close enough. If the bag you buy at the store says 2 pounds, fine. If it says 1 pound, 14 ounces, fine. Just around 2 pounds of these hash browns, all thawed, ready to go, because they're going to incorporate this stuff right here. And what we put in this little bowl that I'm going to have Sheila stir up, you can start stirring, is 1 can of cream of chicken soup. We also put in 1 little tub here. I think this thing is 16 ounces, yeah. 1 16-ounce container of sour cream. Now, some recipes don't use sour cream, but I really like it because it makes it nice and smooth. We also have in there a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Actually, there's 1 teaspoon of pepper because I like pepper. But anyway, there's a 1/2 teaspoon of each for the recipe. But I put a whole teaspoon in there because I just can't stand it. All right, and now it's time for our onions that I chopped up so perfect. There they are. Put them in there. Got a few more little critters floating around. Let me get in your way. There you go. That's right. You're doing good.
Looks fluffy.
Now we also need a half a cup of butter. Actually, let me see this butter. I got to explain this to them. I took 2 sticks of butter and put in here, put it in the microwave for 1 minute, melt it down, made 1 cup. Each stick makes a half a cup of butter, just in case you're whipping up some recipes. I need a whole stick, a half a stick of butter for this, and a half a stick of butter for the Alabama element that's coming up. So first I'm going to pour a half a cup of butter on top of these hash browns. A little bit more. Perfect. Well, just a smidgen. All right, then I'm going to keep this other half a cup of butter for what's coming up. Now, are you ready to put that in here and start mixing it around?
Yes, I am.
All right, dump that in there. Again, we got our 1 can of cream of chicken soup, our 1 little tub of sour cream, half a cup of butter down in there, half a teaspoon of salt and pepper, and we're going to mix this all together.
Does that look like it's about empty?
Looking pretty good. I'll take that and put it over in the dirty dish pile, and you can keep right on a stirring and incorporate all of that. You know, I knew there was something I was forgetting, and it's the cheese. Duh. Now here's the scoop on this. There's a couple theories. If you want to make the Cracker Barrel Hashbrown Casserole that's floating around on the internet, use margarine instead of butter, use Colby cheese instead of cheddar, that kind of thing. But what we're doing is this Alabama version, so bear with me here. Almost all recipes either call for a mild cheddar or a sharp cheddar. And I was in the store one day and I thought, medium cheddar, well, I'll just put that in every recipe, then you can modify it to your taste. We need 2 cups of this shredded medium cheddar mixed into our little bowl here. It's turning into a smaller bowl as we go because we're getting more and more goodies in there all the time. So I got to find a place for this little cup and get it out of the way. There we go. Well, you're looking like you're doing good.
I'm working on it.
I need you to do me one more favor.
Okay.
Let me start stirring that, and you grab that 3-quart casserole dish right behind you there. I'll take over the stirring duties. You've already got this looking really good.
There's the bowl.
All right, now if you'll help me hold this bowl up like this, grab a hold of the bowl. There you go. Now we're talking teamwork. We will dump this in here. This is a 3-quart casserole dish. There we go. You can put that over there somewhere. And I'll let you just kind of smash that out. But don't smash it down. Just kind of spread it, but don't smash it. You don't want to smash it down. That's very important. So just kind of push it into all the different little corners there. You're looking good. And you know what? Here comes the Alabama part. Down there in Red Bay, those girls, whether they're making a bean casserole or a hash brown casserole, they all do this Ritz Cracker thing. All right, this looks good. Let me move this out of your way.
There you go.
And I'll let you get that red bowl right there. And what I did is I took a cereal bowl, and you don't have to take a bag and dump them in, roll them out with a rolling pin. Just take some Ritz crackers, put them in a bowl, and you just crush them with your hands for about 10 seconds, and they look like this. We got 2 cups of Ritz crackers, and I might just let you stir with the same little thing here, and here's our other half a cup of butter is going to go in these Ritz crackers. Oh, I know it. Go ahead. Stir that up real good. And this is going to go on top of this Hashbrown Casserole because that's the way the girls do it down there in the South, down there in Alabama. Yeah, you're showing it to them. Good job there, girl. That really looks good. We talked to one of her friends. Who did we talk to this morning?
Oh, my aunt, Allie.
Oh yeah, Aline. Hi, Aline. She said make sure you either put a 1/4 cup or a little over half. Half is about the best. She says that way it isn't too dry and isn't too wet. It's just about perfect. And boy, you nailed it. A half a cup is just perfect.
Perfect.
Are you ready?
Ready?
Spread it out there. Let's see how good you do on this now. We should be getting a close-up shot of this.
Well, the camera girl is here.
Yeah, the camera girl's over here, not out in front. So it's hard to find good help. Oh, that's looking good. You could almost do 3 cups, but I think 2 cups is going to just make it across the fence here. You think we're okay with that, or do we need 1 more cup?
That looks good.
It looks pretty good?
Yeah.
All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that aluminum foil on the end of the table there. If you'll hand me that. We're going to cover this up. We're going to bake this at 350 degrees for 1 hour. But we're only going to bake it with the aluminum foil on it for 30 minutes. So for the first half hour, we want to cover it up so it bakes good and deep in there. Just like this. And then after 30 minutes, we're going to take the aluminum foil off and bake it another 30 minutes, all at 350 degrees. And we're going to show you the finished product from Alabama. Let me see, what was our little thing we do when the Alabama team wins? Yeah, we do the thing.
Oh, the thing.
Yeah, she's big Alabama, roll tide. So, well, all right, girls down in Alabama, we got your Hashbrown Casserole here with Ritz Crackers soaked in butter on top. And let's see what they look like after we bake them for 1 hour. 30 minutes with the aluminum foil, 30 minutes without, and then we'll bring it back and show it to you.
Okay.
Fresh back from the oven, 30 minutes with the aluminum foil on, 30 minutes off, 350 degrees for 1 hour, and we let it cool just a little bit, and it's got a nice little crust on top, a little bit of brown around the edge. It's not burnt because of that aluminum foil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of separate this almost in servings to start with, because me and Sheila are going to have some. Oh, that sour cream is coming up on that spatula, so nice. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy Vac Master vac machine, and I'm going to vacuum seal some of these and put them in the freezer for later. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and dish these up so you can get a shot of that. Look at that, isn't that nice? Wow. Just right along that edge. One thing I should have said, we could have sprayed this pan, but believe it or not, it's not sticking too bad. Our little casserole dish, we should have probably sprayed it first. But that's one of those tips that show up later. Man, there we go. Does that look fantastic or what? Let's give this a try with our Alabama Ritz Crackers topping on it and see what it's like. Sheila, come on over here. Well, honey, you look just absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
By the way, she changed blouses because she's going to a special event tonight with her girlfriend.
Maxine Randolph.
Well, hi, Maxine. And I got to tell you this. I got to admit to it. We tried a bite of this before we even turned the camera back on. Is it great or what? Wow. That is fabulous. And I'll tell you something else we did, because we kind of wear our heart on our sleeve here. We made this same casserole, and it was a recipe where you ground up cornflakes.
Cornflakes.
Sucked. We threw it in the garbage. It was terrible. Had no flavor. But this Ritz Cracker thing, it's like to die for. It just changes the whole complexity of this profile of the flavor of this. Is just wonderful. So anyway, if you want to get a little Shotgun Red, you can get them at shotgunred.com. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, there's the button right up there. And
you can tell them that they can use this Ritz Cracker thing on any kind of casserole.
any kind of casserole, like a bean casserole, any kind of tuna casserole, corn casserole, anything, put that Ritz Crackers, 2 cups with a half a cup of butter mixed in it and put it on top. Man, it's absolutely fabulous. I kid you not. We'll see you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. And Sheila's got to go because she's going to go to a little event tonight. Have a lot of fun while you're going.
Well, I will.
I'll sit here and watch NHRA drag racing on TV. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
If it ain't.
Oh, if this is this the best little graham cracker, not graham cracker, is this the best little Ritz Cracker topping Alabama hash brown casserole you ever ate in your life? If it ain't, it ought to be. We'll see you next time. Pose up real nice for the we're going to use this for the thumbnail. See you next time. Bye-bye.